So when did Jayden Daniels first show up on your radar screen? Because you both arrived on campus in the same time.
Well, my time at Notre Dame, we knew him, because we're recruiting all over the country. So I knew him as a high school player in the state of California. He was a heralded player. Obviously went to Arizona State, so I knew of him there. And then kind of followed him at Arizona State. And then clearly when I left to go to LSU, everybody had that COVID interruption. And so there was then that opportunity when teams started to kind of look at transferring as an option. It presented itself, and that's when he found himself in the portal. And so I already knew about him and what kind of football player he could be.
Right. And so did he immediately take? I mean, did you see the Ascension right then and there, right off the bat?
Well, I saw what a lot of people saw was somebody that was still in that process of developing. Physically, he was a lot thinner than he was today. He's 210 pounds. He was probably in the 175-pound range, so a guy that could be developed. And again, I knew a lot of the people that he had been working out with. They had been trainers and developers of talent that we had taken from before, so I trusted their evaluations of where he was and where he needed to go, and just felt like we had the resources at LSU to develop him as a quarterback because he wanted that. And so I just felt like it was a great match for us.
This past year, I mean, that's the conversation I've been hearing since the Combine, prior to the Combine. And obviously, Heisman Trophy weekend helps as well. Just the Ascension, the absolute rocket ship from last year to this year, and not as if last year was a slouch in any year as well.
Right.
What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think there's a lot of things there. I think one maybe would be him finally realizing the true potential that was there.
What do you mean by that?
I think there was a transition, coming to a new offense. So there was a lot of ability there that wasn't coming out. And I think we put him in a system that really fit who he was. I think the second thing was he became a decisive person with his maturity. And I think that had to happen over time. And I think the third thing is that he finally went to work on a lot of the weaknesses that he had. He came in first person in the building at 5:30 in the morning and the last person to leave. So there was development. I think there was confidence. And I think that there was a lot of talent there that just needed to open up. And I think that comes sometimes with just maturity.
So how is this going to translate to the next level?
Oh, I think it just continues to grow. I think he is a unique talent. I've seen so many over 33 years of being a head football coach that, the things that he has done on the field, just a couple of examples. I mean, he's thrown a total of 20 interceptions, over 1,400 attempts. I mean, that's like one every couple of games. I mean, that's over 5 years. And he's just so good with the football. He's so careful with what he does and so thoughtful, but yet can be one of the most accurate throwers off platform, getting out of the pocket, and the best deep ball thrower. So he can make the big plays, but yet he's not sloppy with the football. So there's some real high markers there that for me as a football coach, when I watch quarterbacks and have been with quarterbacks, he really checks a box for me.
And where's he going?
Look, I've talked to all the GMs, as you can imagine. I will tell you that all of them, feel strongly about his ability.
Right.
If I was to guess right now, I would say that, Chicago's made their decision with Caleb, and that, he slots right now to go to Washington. But I clearly know that Drake May is highly coveted as well. I think it's a 1-2-3 battle for those spots. Yeah. And, from there, I think McCarthy fits in there as well. I think he's highly regarded. Right. I think I was saying before we went on the air to Greeny and Reese, I like them all. When I'm watching him as a football coach, Nix and Penix, there's some really good quarterbacks in this draft. It's a unique draft.
Well, all of us in our industry are saying that he's going to Washington because you said he's going to Washington.
Yeah, now it's going to be out there, right? To me, I think it's much more about where does it logically look to
Right.
take quarterbacks at this time? You don't get many chances at a guy like this, and it just makes sense. I have no firsthand knowledge
You
of
don't?
it. I
Okay.
do not. I have no firsthand knowledge other than meeting with GMs just like everybody else has.
Okay.
But they have not given me any firsthand information that they're taking him.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up
Yeah.
because there's a lot of chatter that's going on in this. We're just looking for anything right
Yeah,
now.
no.
We're ready for the draft ahead.
This
here.
will still be about, what decision needs to be made in terms of, what's the next quarterback? Who do you embrace? Beauty is still in the eye of the beholder when it comes to quarterbacks.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.